Danny Flexon here for SecondsOut. Delighted to be joined by unbeaten heavyweight contender Fabio Wardley. Fabio, how you doing?
I'm good. How's things with you, mate? You okay?
I'm very good, thank you. Back in action, February 27th. What do you make of Sunday night boxing?
It's interesting. I think it's good. Like the Sunday show Ed put on last year, I watched and it was good. It was enjoyable. It was nice to have something, because Sunday's quite a lull day, isn't it? There's not really too much going on. You kind of almost, for the normal kind of 9 to 5er, you might be kind of dreading the week coming up. So a little nice finisher to the end of the weekend will be good.
Is it normally your day off from the gym?
No, it's actually my day to train. It's my day to train, which is different from most people. Whenever I speak to any other boxers, they always train Saturdays, and I really enjoy training Sundays. So, if anything, it fits me better.
Now tell us about the recent injury, or what you've done to address it, and how rehab has been as well.
It was a back injury, lower back injury. I was getting some rubbing of some discs, which was just causing pain throughout near anything I did. Obviously that hindered sparring a lot, hindered training a lot, just wasn't able to get the most out of myself, wasn't able to train at full capacity. I probably went into the Nick Webb fight at about 50% almost, like barely anywhere near the top level. So it was just something I felt needed to be done, especially after having, I had 4 fights in 12 months. That's quite a busy period, so I thought, you know what, let's just take the rest of the year off, look after yourself, fix yourself up, because I want to have a big year this year. So I didn't want to have another fight at the back end of last year. I only have a month or so to kind of try and fix myself up, and then go into this year still half broken, trying to have big fights and whatever, and it just wasn't going to fit and work. So thankfully everything all worked out nice. The rehab's gone really well. I'm feeling good. Everything's back to work in order. So it's just now to test out on the night and make sure it all holds up.
Now up there on the top table, Eddie Hearn was saying that he loves the fight between you and Nathan Gorman, potentially for the vacant British title, if and when Joe Joyce decides to give that belt up. But also there's a kind of fringe contender route as well, the likes of Christian Hammer, Mariusz, Wach. What's your kind of preferred route, or preferred next up at least after this one?
I don't mind either of those really, as long as the British title comes this year at least. I've got no real issue with those, because I don't mind a good solid fight. I still need to go into the 8, 9, 10 rounds. I still need to get there, and I can do that with the likes of like a Hammer or a Mariusz Wach or whatever those. So they're still boxes I need to tick off. I've got multiple goals for the year. The British title is just one of them, and going later into the rounds is another. So whether it comes first or second is not too much of an issue, as long as I ensure that I get hold of both.
When you have a goal that is getting more rounds or going into the later rounds, do you feel in a sense you're working against yourself, because your natural instinct is to knock people out?
Yeah, of course. Sometimes maybe I need to slow it down, but then you run the risk of, it's heavyweight boxing, just getting caught out of nowhere and stuff. So if I slow the pace and try and slow the fight, it's not always the best thing to do. So I just need to, like I was saying on the table, we need to just keep working, keep sticking the higher level opponent in front of me until I just run into that, because I don't want to get into a habit of having to slow myself down in a fight at all and not running at full speed just so I can try and get to round 8, 9, 10, because even then it's not realistic. I'm not running into it properly, so I want to do it the right way.
Eddie also mentioned that you'd been sparring with Johnny Fisher recently for a couple of weeks. How was that?
Yeah, been really good. Really good. Me and Johnny, we got on really well. I've sparred him countless times now. I'm always up his gym, he's always up my gym. We're only about an hour away from each other, so it's really easy to do. And it's just great to have someone so young, hungry, competitive, who just wants to really put it on you, because one, heavyweight sparring's hard enough to find as it is, good heavyweight sparring, but good heavyweight sparring with an energy, like a good high pace, is even harder. So Johnny brings all of that, and it's great that we can compete to each other with those. So yeah, it's really good, and I'm buzzing to just see him cruise through the division as well.
You said that he didn't give you the mark on your lip.
No.
Who did?
It was a guy called Jamie. He recently signed with Sky, so it was a St. Lucian amateur who's a good guy, really good guy. I've sparred him a few times as well, but yeah, first time I've got a bust lip from a sparring session, so yeah, not too great. Maybe I need to work on a few things, but it's all fun and games.
Was that on your list of goals for the year?
No, it wasn't. And if I was going to get it, I didn't want to go to a presser a few days later, but it is what it is.
Good stuff. What's it like? You said you get on really well with Johnny Fisher. What's it like when you're good friends with someone, but then you have to flick that switch when you get into sparring? It's not a fight, but it's the closest thing to it.
If anything, it makes it better, because you can go proper hell for leather each other, but there's an understanding that we're cool, we're friends. It doesn't mean anything. It doesn't. Whereas you can jump in with someone who you may not be too friendly with, too close with, and then you stick a big shot on them and they think you may be trying to take the piss or trying to make them look stupid or whatever. So it's good to just have a good relationship with someone that you can just let go. Like, I have them spars with Dill all the time. He's probably one of the best people for it, is that we literally try and take chunks out of each other. And then after, we'll sit there and laugh and have a joke and a chill when it means nothing. So they're probably the best ones.
When did you last spar with Dillian?
Years ago now, actually. I think he's particular with who he spars, and my style hasn't really fit for any of the opponents he's had recently. Like the Povetkin thing, I haven't really fit for that at all. He helped me out in the build up to a fight. That's when I last sparred him, but nothing that would benefit him.
Do you get a good sense of someone's level when you spar them? Because obviously Johnny Fisher, he's a prospect coming up. You sparred Dillian, who's a world-class heavyweight. Can you assess that from a spar?
Kind of. It's some little things. You don't get the full picture. You get little tidbits. You get tiny little bits, because no one's putting on their full game and sparring. I'm working on things. You're working on things. Your coach might have said, I want you to do this way, and you might not box that way, but it's just different things you're trying to tick off, and that you're there, especially when you're going away to other people's camps, you're there to help them as well. So you're not trying to just put on an absolute performance. You're trying to do your best as a sparring partner. But you do get ideas of people, what little things they do, little cute ideas they have and stuff. So yeah, it's good to get a small gauge of someone.
Now, we know Nathan Gorman not long ago went from Frank Warren to boxer, or Wasserman rather, and now with Sky. Does that make a fight between the two of you easier or harder to make in your view?
I think easier. Obviously with Ed's previous relationship with Sky and stuff, I think it definitely makes it easier. With the relationship between Ed and Frank Warren has never been the nicest of friends. So I think with the Sky, to put it very, very mildly. So I think it's better that he's with Sky, and it just makes it a lot easier to do.
Have you guys got a relationship? Like you said, you get on really well with some of the other heavyweights. Is he someone you've spent much time with?
Yeah, I spent about a month in Manchester with Nathan Gorman in his training camp when he was getting ready for Wach. So I've been around him, we've spent time together, and he's someone cool. Don't get me wrong, he's not someone I check in with particularly regularly, but we were cool, we were good when we were sparring together. He's a really nice guy, and all of this kind of build up of putting our two names together, he's never said a bad word about me, and I haven't about him, because we're not those type of guys to just try and spark an issue out of nowhere where there's not one. I think he's a good boxer, he's a good fighter, and it's just a good fight, and that's all.
So you're saying you can't stand him, you can't wait to knock him out?
Literally, I hate him. He's probably the worst person I've ever come across.
Good stuff. All right, before I let you go, just remind people out there how they can find you on all your different socials.
So it's just Fabio Wardley on everything. So Fabio Wardley, full name on Instagram, Fabio full name on Twitter, and just Facebook as well. Is that same thing? No, I tell you what, I had TikTok. I had TikTok in the first lockdown, and I was walking around with like a towel on my head trying to do like some stupid dance, and I caught myself walking past the mirror, and I was like, what are you doing?
Is this still available somewhere?
No, I deleted it, it's gone. So that's after that little self-realisation moment, I got rid of it. That was done.
Fair enough. All right, well, I hope you have a great year. I'm sure we'll speak again, but yeah, good luck on the 27th.
Appreciate it. Thank you, mate.
Cheers.